Dodger Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By your neighborhood Union 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. By Farmer John, the only packer who brings Eastern corn-fed pork out here live and dresses the meat fresh right here locally. For pork and pork products at their freshest, Farmer John. And by Datsun. Test price the awesome 280ZX at your Datsun dealer today. Tonight's game comes to you from Candlestick Park in San Francisco, where the Dodgers face the Giants. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday night to you, wherever you may be. It's the Giants and the Dodgers, so pull up a chair and spend part of the evening with us. The Dodgers have done well against the Giants, winning 8 out of 10, 6 out of 7 at Dodger Stadium, and 2 of the 3 played here. Don Sutton, who will open up the series for the Dodgers, has started to click again, particularly against San Francisco. Even though he's under 500, Don is now 9-12, and he has beaten the Giants 3 times this year. Actually, he's beaten them 4 straight meetings. So Don Sutton will go up against left-hander Bob Knepper. The Dodgers have a good deal of success against left-handers of late. They're almost 2-1 to the good against left-handers all year, and they've beaten them 7 straight. The Dodgers opening up the series tonight, tomorrow afternoon, and Sunday. They're out on a road trip which encompasses San Francisco, then St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Chicago. The Giants will also leave Candlestick Park after this series, and they'll hit the road. So neither club has done very well on the road, and it'll be interesting to see how the Dodgers fare. Every time they seem to put it together at Dodger Stadium, and they go out on the road and suffer all kinds of problems and indignities. And they're coming off their most recent homestand, where they won 5 out of 7. So we'll have another look to see whether they can climb over San Diego and catch San Francisco and move up the notch. But they'll have to improve on the road, without a doubt. The Dodgers also come to San Francisco, I guess you could say, with hearts at half-mast. After all, they're not about to get over the loss of chairman of the board, Walter Francis O'Malley. None of us will. Tonight, we will have a moment of silence before the national anthem. And as we understand it, the Giants and the Dodgers will each take the field, line up along the lines between home plate, first and third. And it seems only right, I guess, that there should be a moment here when the Giants and the Dodgers are playing, because the Giant-Dodger rivalry meant so much to Walter O'Malley way back in Brooklyn. And then, of course, when he was making his move to California, it was so important for him that Horace Stoneham and the Giants come with him. If I can remember my history books, at the time when he was leaving for Los Angeles, the word was that Horace Stoneham was going to move the Giants to Minnesota, to Minneapolis. It would have been the Minneapolis Giants, which at the time, Minneapolis was their #1 farm club anyway. But the discussion continued between the two men. Walter O'Malley finally convinced Horace Stoneham, you move to San Francisco, I'll be in Los Angeles, our rivalry will continue. And continue it did. Hard to believe. In 1959, they were at each other's throats after a somewhat dismal 58. Remember, they opened up Dodger Stadium against each other. Later on, 1962, one of the great moments in Giant history, when they came out of the pack and when Sandy Koufax came up with a sore arm. Sandy Koufax, just to add a little extra luster to this weekend, Sandy is here. He's in uniform. Maybe sometime during today, tomorrow, and/or Sunday, we can have a shot of the fabled left-hander once again in a Dodger uniform. But it's the Giants and the Dodgers, and as we look on our monitor and we look down into the Dodger dugout, you can see Joe Ferguson with the mustache, and that's Sandy Koufax sitting just to Fergie's left. Seems like old times to see number 32 out there throwing a few baseballs. He was on the mound, and he pitched a little batting practice as well. Well, we got some kind of production here at Candlestick, not quite what we had heard. The Giants are taking their defensive stations. I do not know whether the entire Giant Dodger ball clubs will take the field as we had been led to believe. But I do know that in a moment, the crowd will be asked to stand for the moment of silence for Walter Francis O'Malley. We understand funeral mass will be held perhaps tomorrow, but strictly in private for the family, and in lieu of flowers, contributions to the Mayo Foundation in Minnesota. And now the crowd standing for a moment of silence, memory of the chairman of the board, Walter O'Malley. This copyrighted telecast, presented by authority of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated, who employ the announcers, intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated is prohibited. The Dodger lineup is this way. Davy Lopes leading off at second base. Bill Russell rested yesterday back at shortstop. Steve Garvey at first base hitting third. And Ron Say in the cleanup spot at third base. Dusty Baker in left field. Joe Ferguson behind the plate. Mickey Hatcher returns to the starting lineup. Hatcher will be in right field. Darrell Thomas will be in center. And Don Sutton, the pitcher. Sutton has beaten the Giants his last 4 straight. He's 9-12, 3-0 this year, 25-23 lifetime. The Dodgers begin the game 16 games behind Houston. More realistically, 4.5 games behind San Francisco. The Giants are in third place. San Francisco means a great deal in Davy Lopes' biography. His first at-bat in the big leagues was in September of '72 against the Giants. His first hit in the big leagues was against Jim Barr and the Giants. His first home run was in 1973 against the Giants, and his first stolen base was against San Francisco. And he takes ball 1. 1-0 to Davy Lopes. Davy hitting .265, 24 home runs, 57 runs batted in, bounces one over the head of Evans, picked up by LeMaster, who gets him. The infield looks like it's been drowned in Texas crude oil. And evidently, since they have gone back to natural grass, one of the problems has always been, and it was the reason why they went to AstroTurf here in the first place, the wind would blow the dirt into the customers' faces, particularly off first base. So they have tried to keep the dirt down, and I mean it's almost black. Bill Russell has hit in 7 out of 10. Bill hitting .270. Ball 2. Steve Fields behind the plate. Tata, Crawford, and McSherry out on the lines, and Bob Nepper on the hill. In there, 2-1. Nepper, 25 years old in May, born in Akron, Ohio, lives in Foster City. 8-6, so it's been a struggle for him this year. The shot at first baseman McCovey. Well, you have 2 down in the first inning, and Steve Garvey coming out. Garvey hitting .325, 18 home runs, 73 runs batted in. Steve has hit in 10 straight, and he has also hit safely in 25 out of 29. One other note, he is playing in consecutive game number 625, 15th longest in big league history. Ball 1. There's a strike. 1-1. For just about a month, Bob Nepper battling Garvey, who is hitting almost 400 for that month. Nepper 0-1 against the Dodgers this year. Foul back. Nepper's last appearance was against the Dodgers. He was the losing pitcher. He went only 3 innings. Gave up 5 earned runs and 9 hits. He had no decision in April against the Dodgers. No decision in 5 innings the end of May. Slow curve, swung on and missed. Little John goes to McCovey in the out recorded at first, and the Dodgers are gone in order. The end of half an inning, Dodgers nothing, Giants coming up. The Dodgers failed to score in the first inning, which is a turnabout from the 5th of August, when the Dodgers jumped on Bob Knepper for 4 runs in the first inning, including a 3-run home run by Steve Garvey. Tonight, Knepper set the Dodgers down in order and struck out Garvey to boot. The Giant lineup reads this way: Bill North, Joe Strain at second, and Jack Clark in right field. Willie McCovey at first base. Mike Ivy, who hit the home run in the 8th inning to burst the bubble on Sutton. Don was so close to his 50th shutout. Darrell Evans will be at third. Johnny LeMaster at short. Dennis Littlejohn behind the plate. And Bob Knepper, the pitcher. We can take a look at the Dodgers defensively. There's Steve Garvey on that black infield. At second, Davy Lopes. The shortstop, Bill Russell. And at third, Ron Say. Dusty Baker is the left fielder. Darrell Thomas in center. And Mickey Hatcher in right. Bill North will start it off as you see Joe Ferguson getting ready to go behind the plate. And on the mound, Don Sutton, 9-12, 3-0, 25-23 lifetime against the Giants, in quest of his 215th lifetime victory. Strike one to Bill North, hitting .278. North is having a big year on the base paths. He has 48 stolen bases to tie the Giant record held by Bobby Bonds. 0-2. A final score in the National League. Houston, with a run in the 9th inning, after scoring a run in the 8th to tie, Houston defeated Atlanta 2-1. Necro beat Solomon. Art Howe knocked in the game-winning RBI. Foul back. So Houston, after losing 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers, come right back and get well at the expense of the Atlanta Braves. Bill North, the switch hitter, doing the bulk of his hitting right-handed. He's hitting only left .240 from this side of the plate. One and two. For North, with 74 walks this year, and he's looking for his 100th hit. As we said, he has stolen 48. Two balls and 2 strikes to Bill North. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Ball 3. So Sutton quickly had 2 strikes on North. Now trying to fight off an edge. He has gone all the way. On deck, Joe Strain, the second baseman. High chopper down to Lopes. Big bounce, but he got him. Ground must be hard. It took a high bounce leaving the plate, and then took another high bounce in front of Davy Lopes. 1 away. Watch this. That looks like an AstroTurf bounce. Now. Wow. So 1 down, and Joe Strain hitting .280. Joe doing very well since being called up from Phoenix after Bill Madlock had been traded. In fact, Strain was quoted in the story today. He's saying when he arrived and they told him he'd be starting, he said, "How can I start? Where's Madlock?" That's when he found out that Madlock had been traded. Joe hitting .280. Home run, 9 runs batted in. Ball 1. Strain has struck out less than 10% of the time while hitting .280. Fly ball down the line, coming in and over is Baker. 2 down. That'll bring up Jack Clark, the right fielder. Clark has hit safely in 12 out of 14. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, he's hit .400 with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. He's 4th in the league in RBIs with 78. Last year, he finished with 98 RBIs, and he's slightly ahead of the 1978 pace. Jack hitting .276, 23 home runs. Ball 1. One and 0 to Jack. Foul back, out of play. That's Steve Fields, the plate umpire. Terry Tata at first. Jerry Crawford at second. And Big John McSherry at third, the quartet of umpires that worked the Dodger-Houston series. Breaking ball just missed. Two and 1 to Jack Clark. Tomorrow, Charlie Huff and Ed Whitson. Sunday, Jerry Royce and Vida Blue. 2 and 2. Don with 49 shutouts, 214 victories, and the most strikeouts of any pitcher in Dodger history. So his third batter, and he's gone 3 and 2 to 2 of them. Here's Dave Bristol coaching at third, and Peanuts, as they call him, Jimmy Davenport, coaching at first. There's a shot backhanded by Russell in the hole, throws him out. Fine play by Bill. So the Giants are gone in order, and at the end of an inning, no score.
When you say Budweiser, when you say Bud, you said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say Bud, you say you care enough to only want the king of beers. When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Friends, how far do you drive every year? 10,000 miles, 20, 40? Well, you know the way you drive determines the kind of tires you buy, and there's no point in buying the most expensive tires if you don't need them. That's why your full-service Union 76 dealer carries a complete line of tires, and there's one just right for you. So if maybe you've driven, well, a little too far on the tires you have now, stop in at Union 76 and go with the spirit of 76.
Second inning, no score in the ball game. The Giants and the Dodgers. A beautiful evening here in San Francisco. And the Dodgers will have Ron Cey, followed by Dusty Baker, and then Joe Ferguson. Take a look at the scoreboard quickly. You can see Cincinnati-San Diego scoreless in the third. 3-3 Pittsburgh-Philadelphia in the 11th, and that's the first of two. 4-1 Montreal leading the Mets in the fifth inning. No score in the second. The Cubs and the Cardinals. Houston beat Atlanta 2-1. What American League games we have? Kansas City leading Detroit 5-0 in the third. Baltimore leading the Yankees 8-6 in the eighth. Boston beat Milwaukee 5-4. Cleveland leading Texas 5-1 in the seventh. 1-0. Oakland leading Minnesota in the third. Ball one to Ron Cey. Ron Cey, the all-time Los Angeles home run leader. He has 155. Including Brooklyn, he would be 5th on the all-time Dodger list. But he has to still go some to catch the man in front of him, Carl Furillo. Of course, the #1 home run hitter for the Dodgers, Duke Snider. Cey has hit in 7 of his last 9, 12 of his last 16. Ron hitting .280. And got a hold of it. And the #5 home run hitter for the Dodgers has hit it out. So the all-time Los Angeles home run hitter trotting out his 156th. And for Cey, 21 home runs, 59 runs batted in. 1-0 Dodgers. For Knepper, would you believe that is the 22nd home run that Bob Knepper has allowed? Ron Cey getting the hero's treatment in the dugout. Take another look at that. As you can see, a perfect home run swing, a slight uppercut, and up and out. Cey's last home run was on the 3rd of August, and now he hits one out tonight. $20 book of Union All Auto Script to the Gateway Hospital in Los Angeles. 1-1 the count to Dusty Baker, who has been on a tear. 7 straight, 17 out of his last 19. So Bob Knepper, who was knocked around by the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, surrenders the home run ball tonight to Cey. Ball 3. Baker, for just about the last 3 weeks, has hit .419. On deck, Joe Ferguson. Fastball and a looper to center. That could be trouble. It drops. So a bloop single by Dusty Baker. He's hit in 8 straight, and that'll bring up Joe Ferguson. Joe Ferguson hitting .249, but he has 15 home runs, 54 runs batted in. The home run by Cey was the 4th that he has hit against the Giants this year. Dodgers have hit 13 against San Francisco. Cey, with 4 of them, now has 10 hits, good for 10 runs batted in. The Dodger coaches, Preston Gomez and Jimmy Lefebvre. In there, 1-1. Ferguson against San Francisco this year has 8 hits, 2 runs batted in, but no home runs. And that's hit hard. Backhanded at third by Evans, and he throws it into right field. So Baker is up and at him, going into third. Ferguson holding at first. So after a marvelous stop, he took a double away from Ferguson. Evans then overshot Joe Strain, and it will be a fielder's choice and an error charge to Darrell Evans. Take another look. Fergie ripped it. Evans, a great backhand stop, and then sailed it high over Strain's head. So Darrell Evans drawing the error. Evans has made quite a few errors now. That overthrow, his 26th error. That's a lot. Here's Mickey Hatcher. Hatcher in 4 games was 3 for 10. Swings right through the fastball, 0-1. Hatcher sat down during the Houston series. Just as well he didn't have to look at James Rodney Richards. Hatcher's last game was against the Giants and Ed Whitson. Fouled away. Dodgers at first and third. The Dodgers leading 1-0. Nobody out here in the second inning. Joe Ferguson held on by McCovey. Dusty Baker down the line from third. Two and two. Bob Nepper, pride of Calistoga High School. Two and two to Mickey. Down at his feet, ball three. Nepper looking for help, but first base umpire Tatus said no swing. Now we'll see about Ferguson if he's going 3 and 2 with nobody out. He goes, and it's ball 4 to Hatcher. So Hatcher has walked 4 times in 4 games. Pretty good eye up there at the plate. So Hatcher at first, Ferguson at second, Baker at third, and Darrell Thomas coming up. Darrell Thomas hitting .260. But he's hitting 21 points higher than that as a right-handed batter. So Nepper is in trouble, and the Giant bullpen gets busy here in the second inning. Foul back out of play. The Dodgers have the bases loaded and nobody out. They lead 1-0 as you look at big Ed Holicki. Strike one pitch. Fastball belted to left field. That's got a chance to go. It goes in the corner. Gone. A grand slam home run for Darrell Thomas. So Darrell Thomas, who played here at San Francisco, really comes home to horn. A grand slammer, and that makes it 5-0 Dodgers in the second inning. Take another look for the Marching and Chowder Society of Darrell Thomas. Boy, what a thrill. A grand slammer. And the Dodgers sitting on a 5-0 lead as Sutton fouls it off. So the Dodgers have really punched holes in Bob Nepper. Oh and 1. Now 0 and 2. There's still nobody out. So here in the inning, Say homered. Thomas hits a grand slammer, and the Dodgers lead 5-0. Darrell Thomas taking a moment out. Sitting next to Bob Welch. He had to really savor that. Fouled away. On Darrell Thomas, his first career grand slam. His third home run of the year. Ball hit back at Nepper, and this looks like the first out of the inning. So 1 away, and Davy Lopes will be coming up, taking some time to let Sutton get back to the dugout. Lopes grounded to short in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Dodgers 5 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. The Giants no runs, no hits, and 1 error. For Darrell Thomas, He has a dozen hits and 8 runs batted in against San Francisco this year. Lopes has hit well against San Francisco. 15 hits, including 3 home runs. Fouls that one away. The Dodgers, in 10 meetings plus tonight, have hit 14 home runs against San Francisco. We told you earlier the Dodgers now have won 7 straight from left-handers. One and one to Davy Lopes. One and two. On the Grand Slam home run by Darrell Thomas, a $20 book of Union All Auto script to the Pomona Valley Sheltered Workshop Association in Montclair. Duck in some scores. 2 and 2. Philadelphia beat Pittsburgh 4-3 in 12 innings in the first of 2 games. Bud Harrelson knocked in the winning run. Mets beat Montreal 7-1. Montreal leads 6-1 at the end of 5.5 of the second game. The Cardinals beat Chicago 13-8. They're scoreless in the bottom of the third of the second game. Houston shaded Atlanta 2-1. Cincinnati leading San Diego 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Seattle failed to score in the first inning at California. Kansas City beat Detroit 7-6. Kansas City leads 5-0 at the end of 3.5 in the nightcap. Oakland beat Minnesota 6-5. Oakland leads 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth in the second game. Baltimore beat the Yankees 8-6. There's a shot down the left field line, foul. Baltimore beat the Yankees 8-6. Ron Davis, in relief of Tommy John, lost it. Martinez, in relief of Dennis Martinez, won it. Gamble, Chambliss, and Ayala home run. Boston beat Milwaukee 5-4. Toronto, Chicago postponed rain. Cleveland leading Texas 5-1 at the end of 7. And that Baltimore ball club won at 8-6, scoring 3 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th to do it. Davy Lopes still up there, 3 and 2. Popped in the air, out of play. The Dodgers have not only hit a lot of home runs, but they have kept a pretty good spread between home runs they have hit and home runs hit by the opposition. There's almost a difference of 60 in their favor. The Giants, the other way around. The Giants have hit 103 home runs. The opposition 107. Hold everything. As Lopes hits one to deep left field, back goes Ivy, and he's hit it out. For Davy Lopes, a rather historic home run, his 25th of the year, the highest number of home runs ever hit by a Dodger second baseman. He tied Jimmy Lefevre at 24, and now Davy stands alone as he drives it out. So the Dodgers have hit 3 home runs in the inning as you take another look at little Davy driving it out. And for Bob Knepper, he just serves up too many of those. 3 home runs tonight. Knepper has given up 24 home runs. And so Bob Knepper, who worked only 3 innings against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, and the Dodgers combed him for 9 hits and 5 runs, tonight they rack him up for 6 runs, 4 hits, 3 of the 4 hits home runs, 1 of them a grand slammer. And so Bob Knepper driven to cover. Joe Altobelli walking out with him. A $20 book of Union All Auto script to the All Nations Foundation in Los Angeles. So 6-0 Dodgers. And Ed Holicki will be coming in. And it gives us a chance to remind you about Danny Goodman's latest souvenir offer. A Dodger flashlight, a pair of Dodger wristbands, an 8x10 autographed team photo, and a Dodger batting glove. All 4 items for only $2. Send to Danny Goodman, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles 90012. Also a reminder to drop by Danny Goodman's Dodger Stadium gift shop on the club level next to the Dodger office. Open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 and during all Dodger home games. Take a look at Easy Ed Halicki. Halicki, 5 victories and 5 losses. He's completed 3 of 14 starts, and this would be his 6th relief assignment. Halicki has allowed about a home run a game. He has given up 10 in 90 innings. And Bill Russell will be the batter. So the Dodgers with a 6-run second inning, and they lead San Francisco 6-0. Strike. Fouled away. Home runs in the inning by Say and Lopes with the bases empty, and a grand slammer by Darryl Thomas. So the Dodgers have hit 15 home runs against the Giants, 4 each by Say and Lopes. Take a look at a 6'7" right-hander. It comes at you in sections, like a hook and ladder. 1-2. Ed Halicki will be 29 in October. Fouled off. He's had a no-hitter in his young career against the New York Mets here, has Halicki. Plate umpire Steve Fields doing a little housekeeping. 1-2 to Garvey. Fastball hit into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Run down by Joe Strain. Garvey will hold. So the Dodgers 6 runs on 5 hits here in the second inning. And Ron Say, who started it all off with the home run, coming up. Shows you what a difference there is from one year to the next in baseball. Last year, the Giants were the only team in the major leagues with 3 starting pitchers with earned runs under 3. Bob Nepper, Ed Halicki, and Vida Blue. And now look at them. Vida Blue has earned run 5.5. Nepper is about 4.5. And Halicki is 4.5. Difference from one year to the next. Fouled away. Six to nothing Dodgers in the second inning. Ronnie hit his 21st to start the inning off. Ground ball to the hole, but that's where LeMaster is. He kicks it and has no play. So just to add to all their other problems, that's the second Giant error. So last year they were talking about a pennant. This year they're talking about a hanging up here. Johnny LeMaster. There's Dusty Baker. He singled in the second inning. Ball 1. Ground ball back a third, and Darrell Evans goes to the bag for the last out. 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. At the end of an inning and a half, Dodgers 6, Giants nothing. Don Sutton staked to a 6-0 lead in the second inning. He'll be pitching to Willie McCovey, Mike Ivy, and then Darrell Evans. Willie McCovey hitting .253, 14 home runs, 49 runs batted in. He was rather outspoken in the press, criticizing his manager. And of course, Al Labelli doesn't need any more criticism with the way the Giants have been going. The Giants, however, are in third place, 11.5 back. But Willie laid the body at his door. Strike. 6-0 Dodgers, second inning. High fly ball into right field. Hatcher started in. Darrell Thomas comes over and takes it. The last game that Mickey played in right field at Dodger Stadium was a twilight game, and he had a lot of trouble, but it was understandable because twilight time is tough. He was very tentative, and finally Thomas came over on that one. We still have some cotton candy sky up there, but he didn't look like he really picked that ball off at all. One down, and Mike Ivy the batter. It was Ivy who ruined Sutton's bid for his 50th shutout when last they faced each other at Dodger Stadium. Strike. Ivy hitting .310. He has 19 home runs, second to Clark. 63 runs batted in, second to Clark. One ball, one strike to Mike Ivy. Dodgers leading 6-0, and their trademark home runs by Say and Lopes with the bases empty, and a grand slammer, first of his career, by Darrell Thomas. Ground foul, 1-2. Darrell Evans on deck. Two and two. Don Sutton, every time he goes to the mound, of course, he writes his name in another chapter in Dodger history. Ball three for Sutton. This is his 479th start, the most by any Dodger pitcher. For that matter, only 33 pitchers in Major League history have started more games than Don. The next man on the list, he has 3 more to make. Bob Gibson had 482. Pop foul off to the right and out of play. In talking about how he moves up baseball's ladder, Don Sutton with 214 victories. There are 55 pitchers in history who have won more. The man in front of him, Jim Perry, won 215, so he could catch Perry tonight. 3-2. Ball 4 to Ivy. So the Giants get a base runner, Mike Ivy, and the batter is Darrell Evans. Evans made a great stop with the ball hit by Ferguson, but then threw it into right field trying to get a force play. Because Darrell can get you well in a hurry with a swing of the bat. Evans has 15 home runs, 55 runs batted in, and he's hit more home runs against the Dodgers than anybody else. He's hit 26. Fly ball to left field, coming in and over is Baker. 2 down in the second inning, and that'll bring up Johnny LeMaster. Ivy at first, held on by Garvey. Johnny LeMaster hitting .268. 1 home run, 19 runs batted in. If they get down to Halicki's spot, naturally trailing 6-0, they're thinking hitter. So they get the bullpen up. Tommy Griffin begins to throw in the Giant bullpen. There's Tommy. 1 ball and no strikes to Johnny LeMaster. Pop fly, Russell going out, Darrell Thomas digging. He's there. Nothing across, a man left on a walk, and at the end of 2, Dodgers 6, Giants nothing. Two innings in, the Dodgers 6 runs, 5 hits. And of the 5 hits, 3 home runs. Lopes and Say with the bases empty, and a grand slammer by Darrell Thomas. Ed Halicki, who had to pick up the pieces for Bob Nepper. And it might be Halicki's last inning of work because Tommy Griffin has been throwing back of him, and Halicki is due to bat second when the Giants hit in the bottom of the 3rd. Joe Ferguson hit the ball hard, but that's when Evans made a fine play only to throw it away after taking an extra base hit away. He's late and fouls it away. No play for Littlejohn. Dennis Littlejohn off the campus of USC. He was on that Rod Dado team that boasted, among others, Fred Lynn, Steve Kemp, Roy Smalley, Rich Dower, and Dennis Littlejohn. And of course, Kemp, Lynn, and Smalley on the American League All-Star team. 1-1 to count to Fergie. Fouled away, didn't get around on it. 1-2. One and two to Ferguson. 2-2. We had some Japanese little leaguers when we were home at Dodger Stadium the other day. Here at Candlestick, they have a Taiwan Championship Little League team. Down goes Fergie. Good off-speed pitch. The change got him. He was very late on 2 good fastballs, and then he was way out in front of the change. Here's Mickey Hatcher. He has picked up a nickname. His name is Michael Hatcher. But in one of his, in fact, it was his debut game, there was a mistake in the LA Times. They referred to him as Roger Hatcher. So now, naturally, amongst the ball club, he's Roger. So he is playing this game under an assumed name. 1-1. Michael Hatcher, born in Cleveland, raised in Arizona, went to school at the University of Oklahoma. There's one just fair inside third and down the line. So Mickey on his way to second base and in there standing with a double. And for Hatcher, his first extra base hit. Mickey now is 4 for 11 with a double and 2 runs batted in. Since he hit .371 at Albuquerque, he figures to have his share of them before he's through. He jumped on it. No play by Evans. That was just an echo. So the Dodgers with 3 home runs and a double, leading 6-0. Here's the grand slam man, Darrell Thomas. Ball 1. Darrell hit the slam as a right-handed batter. Now he'll go the other way against Halicki. First grand slam of his career, August the 10th, 1979. One and 0. Mickey Hatcher at second base. 6-0 Dodgers, top of the 3rd. Off speed and away, ball 2. 2-0 to Darrell. Dropped in there. 3-1 to count to Darrell Thomas. Popped in the air behind the plate. Little John coming back. Doubtful. No play. The Giants started tonight 11.5 games back of Houston. Houston has just beaten Atlanta 2-1. And the Dodgers started the night 4.5 games behind San Francisco. You're watching Dodger Baseball on KTTV, Channel 11 in Los Angeles. Three and 2. Ball 4 to Darrell. So with 1 out, Dodgers at first and second. Don Sutton coming up. And the Giants will probably look bunt. Sutton hit back to the box in the second inning. Don is a good bunter. He sacrificed 5 times this year. And for a pitcher, he strikes out less than 25% of the time, so he can handle a bat. And he missed the bunt, and they've got a Hatcher. And Darrell Evans will tag him out as he left the baseline. And going into second, Darrell Thomas. So Mickey Hatcher is nailed when he tries to get a jump on the bunt. And the throw immediately set him up. He had nowhere to go. LeMaster just chased him and then flipped it to Darrell Evans. Mickey will try and get down and under, but he got him. So 2-6-5. Darrell Thomas advancing to second. 2 out. One and 1 to count. Fouled off. 1 and 2. Dodgers 6 runs, 6 hits. Giants no runs, no hits, and 2 errors. And there's Mickey, somewhat embarrassed right now, having been hung out to dry on that missed bunt. Sutton is caught looking, and the Dodgers come right out of the 3rd inning. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of 2.5, Dodgers 6, Giants nothing. Friday night, August 31st, the Dodgers play the Chicago Cubs at Dodger Stadium, and it's Los Angeles Dodgers 1979 photo album night. A free issue to everybody in attendance, pictures and autographs of all the players, the coaches, the manager, and a couple of timeless shots of fans, as well as Ron Cey scoring the winning run in the pennant clincher against the Philadelphia Phillies. Dodger family photo album night, August 31st with the Cubs. It's yours if you're there. Game concert will follow, which features Dave and Sugar. Make your plans to be with us on Sunday, August 26th, Country Music Day at Dodger Stadium with Dave and Sugar in the spotlight. Be a great homestand. The Cardinals, the Pirates, the Cubs. You have Family Night, Hollywood Stars Night, Country Music Day, and Dodger Photo Album Night on Friday night, August 31st with the Cubs. So make your plans while we're out on the road, and we'll see you at Dodger Stadium. Little John, a fly ball to Mickey Hatcher. Now Greg Johnston will come up and bat for Ed Halicki. Johnston 0 for 7 this year. So Greg Johnston coming up to hit. That'll be all for Halicki, and we'll be seeing Tommy Griffin. Greg was born in Los Angeles, now lives up here in Walnut High. He went to Gladstone High in Azusa. He was a teammate of Jack Clark's at Azusa. One and one to Greg Johnston. Don Sutton has gotten 7 outs, and 5 of the 7 outs have been fly balls. In there, 1 and 2. So Bob Nepper went an inning and a third, charged with 6 runs. Halicki an inning and 2/3, and we'll be seeing Tommy Griffin in the 4th. Foul tipped and held by Fergie, and down goes Johnston. And for Don Sutton, he has more strikeouts. Sutton, of course, the most strikeouts of any pitcher in Dodger history. Bill North grounded out in the 1st inning. Dodgers 6, Giants nothing. Bottom of the 3rd. In there. Bill North came into the ballgame at 278. 1 and 1. Tomorrow, Charlie Huff and Ed Whitson. Sunday, Jerry Royce and Vida Blue. Fouled away, 1 and 2. Two down, bases empty in the 3rd. Bill North trying to get something started. Joe Strain on deck. Fouled off. Still 1 and 2. Sutton leading 6-0 in the ball game, but he is not playing catch with Ferguson. He's taken plenty of time between pitches. Of course, he got into the 8th inning before he saw his shutout get away at Dodger Stadium. Trying for his 50th shutout, taking plenty of time. And he gets Bill North swinging, and the Giants are done, and that's 2 strikeouts for Sutton, who has not allowed a hit through 3 innings. Ross will be along in a minute, and the score at the end of 3, the Dodgers 6 and the Giants nothing.
You know, back when I made road pictures, when you made a buck, you kept a buck. But today, with a high cost of living, you need a hedge against inflation. That's why I opened a Treasury bill account at California Federal Savings. It lets my savings earn at the high rate of today's money market. The Treasury bill account at California Federal Savings. It's a sweet deal for savers. And here's this week's rate.
California Federal Savings.
Good evening, everybody, from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. And, of course, even though the Dodgers are starting this road trip tonight, many of our thoughts all day have been of Walter O'Malley. And as we came into Candlestick Park tonight, we thought about the year, I guess it was 1957, when Walter O'Malley talked Horace Stoneham into moving the Giants to San Francisco. He was going to move the Dodgers to Los Angeles. What a change that was for baseball. And you look back now over those 22 seasons and see what a great rivalry it has been on the West Coast. We were figuring it up today. They played a little over 400 times, the Giants and Dodgers, since they came to California against one another. And in those 407 games, you know, the Dodgers have only 3 more victories than the Giants. It's been a great series, and it's a great tribute to Walter F. O'Malley that he had the inspiration and the foresight to see back in 1957 what baseball could mean as far as the national pastime was concerned. 6-0 tonight. The Dodgers ahead. Let's go to the fourth inning, and Davy Lopes to lead off for the Dodgers. He'll be followed by Bill Russell and then Steve Garvey. Lopes has bounced to short and homered in the second inning. Davy now with 25 home runs, the most ever hit by a Dodger second baseman, and he takes inside. Tom Griffin becomes San Francisco's third pitcher of the evening, following Bob Knepper and Ed Halicki. Davy foul tips it into Dennis Littlejohn's glove. 1-1. Tom Griffin out of the San Fernando Valley. He used to be with the Houston Astros at the start of his National League career. That's low. 2-1. 6 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, including 3 home runs by Lopes and Say with the bases empty, and a grand slammer by Darrell Thomas, the first grand slam of his major league playing days. That misses inside. 3-1 to Lopes. Only 3 second basemen have hit more home runs than Lopes. Rogers Hornsby, Dave Johnson, and Joe Morgan. Strike 2 to Davy. 3-2. So Davy moving up the ladder among National League home run leaders among second basemen. That's ball 4. The Dodgers have the leadoff man aboard here in the fourth inning. Bill Russell has bounced out to first and fly to center. Russell started the night hitting .270. Blowing inside. Griffin is 4-5 with the Giants. This is his 46th game. ERA of just under 3.5. Lopes, who has stolen 14 straight bases, gets back to the bag. Line drive, base hit down the left field line. Ivy over to get it. Davy going to third. Russell to second. The throws to third. And that gives Russell a chance to move into second. So the Dodgers tee off on Tom Griffin to begin the fourth inning. A walk and a double. Nobody out, and here comes Steve Garvey. Garvey struck out in the first inning when Bob Knepper got the Dodgers in order. And then he came up in the second inning and looped a single over Willie McCovey's head. The Dodgers sent 11 men to the plate in the second. 6 of them scored. There were 5 hits in the inning, including the 3 home runs. The Giants will pitch to Garvey with the infield in, and the first one's low. Thomas James Griffin, a 10-year Major League veteran, invited to the Giants spring camp in 1979 as a non-roster player, and he won a spot on the staff. Foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Garvey, who started the night at .325. Garvey now with 152 hits, most in the National League. Steve now with an 11-game hitting string with that second inning single. Off speed and ripped foul. Just outside third. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Steve Garvey. Garvey has 20 hits against the Giants this year, including 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. 1-2. Got him swinging for the second time tonight. First out of the inning, and that'll bring up Ron Say. Say has 12 home runs against the Giants in less than 2 seasons. He hit 8 against San Francisco last year. He has hit 4 this year in the first 11 meetings, including tonight. And remember, these clubs still have 7 games to play against one another. Breaking ball in for a strike. Say, after a homering in the second, aboard on an error by LeMaster in the same inning. Ron started the second inning uprising. 6 runs off Bob Knepper. Strike 2, 0-2. Tom Griffin also spent some time with the San Diego Padres, and he signed with the Angels through the 3-entry draft. 0-2 pitch to say. Laid off of it, 1-2. Griffin was chosen by Houston in the first round of the January 1966 draft. Made his Major League debut for the Astros 3 years later. He was the Sporting News National League Rookie Pitcher of the Year that year, 10 years ago. Say strikes out. So the off-speed pitch getting saved for the second out of the inning. The Dodgers had men at second and third with nobody out. They're still there with 2 out. And that'll bring on Dusty Baker. Baker has singled and been aboard on the fielder's choice. Dodgers 6, Giants nothing in the 4th inning. Now the San Francisco infield can drop back. Fastball inside. Candlestick Park is the only place the Dodgers have won more than they've lost on the road this year. They took 2 out of 3 here in April. And tonight they bolted to a 6-0 lead early. Off speed inside to Baker. 2-0. Joe Ferguson would be next. There's Fergie. Two-0 pitch to Baker. He's taking, and it's in there. 2-1. Tomorrow afternoon, Charlie Huff takes on Ed Whitson. Sunday afternoon, Jerry Royce and Vida Blue. Will be on the air at 12:45 both days. Baker takes ball 3, 3-1. Love's at third, Russell at second, 2 out, 4th inning, 6-0 Los Angeles. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. So it looked like Griffin really didn't want much to do with Baker. Pitched around him and walked him, and now here's Joe Ferguson. Second walk of the inning for Griffin. Ferguson aboard on the fielder's choice and struck out. Off speed and inside. When you look at the Dodger and Giants seasons, and they have been disappointing, the one thing that sticks out has been the pitching on both clubs. That's outside, 2-0. The last couple of years, the Dodgers and Giants were right at the top of the National League pitching tables. This year, right now, the Giants are 9th in the league in pitching. The Dodgers and Braves are tied for last, 11th and 12th. And both staff ERAs are over 4. Ferguson stepping out. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Been a problem for the Phillies. They are 10th in the league in pitching. A strike, 2-1. The Giants are also next to last in the league in batting. San Diego's the only club with a lower team average than the Giants. So San Francisco's got an uphill battle tonight, down by 6. Ferguson sends a fly ball to right, and Jack Clark's got a play. Went back, now comes up, and makes the catch. So the Dodgers had an opportunity to get more. Second and third, nobody out, and they leave the bases loaded. And at the end of 3 1/2, Dodgers 6, Giants nothing.
America's best like fun food, the hot dog. And there's so much more to like when you choose the hot dogs from Farmer John. You'll like their extra freshness from locally dressed Eastern corn-fed pork and juicy fresh domestic beef. You'll like their heartier Western flavor from the smoking and their livelier zestiness from natural herbs and spices.
Farmer John wieners, extra long wieners, and beef franks. The most likable hot dogs you can buy.
Want a nimble way to beat the high price of gas? Get a gas-stingy front-wheel drive Datsun 310. High Datsun mileage to keep you away from the pumps with a big 27 miles per gallon EPA estimate. Datsun 310, front-wheel drive economy, Datsun quality.
Put your money in the bank, not in the tank. Buy a Datsun, Datsun
To save you money.
It'll be a night for stars at Dodger Stadium on Saturday night, August the 26th. Hollywood Stars Night. A great lineup of movie and television stars will participate in a 6:30 game with the Dodgers playing the St. Louis Cardinals and Lou Brock in his final series at Dodger Stadium. Now, the Stars lineup this year includes Billy Barty, Walter Matthau, Elliott Gould, Marianne Mobley, Robin Williams, and John Ritter. That's Hollywood Stars Night, Saturday night, August the 26th. To the bottom of the fourth in San Francisco, the Dodgers 6 and the Giants nothing. Don Sutton, who has retired 9 of the first 10 Giant batters tonight, will look at Joe Strain, Jack Clark, and Willie McCovey in the lower fourth. The only Giant base runner, Mike Ivey, who walked with 1 out in the second inning. And it was Ivey who spoiled Sutton's bid for his 50th career shutout with the home run Sunday at Dodger Stadium in the 8th inning. Joe Strain fly to left field his first time up. Little second baseman out of the University of Northern Colorado. Ball 1. Strain hitting .280. Good contact hitter. In for a strike, 1-1. Strain has struck out only 9 times in 151 official at-bats. Fouled out of play. 1-2. Cool evening in San Francisco. Temperature in the mid to high 50s. One-two pitch. Got him. Strain knew it. So Sutton took something off, and he has his 3rd strikeout in a row. Jack Clark smashed one to Bill Russell in the first inning, and Russell threw him out. Clark hitting .275, 23 home runs to top the Giants, and his 78 RBIs, again, good for the club lead. Clark shortens up the bunt and takes one inside for a ball. Clark is 4th in the National League with those 78 ribbies. Good fastball in there for a strike, 1-1. Don Sutton trying to become the 3rd Dodger pitcher to win 10 games this season. Bert Hooton and Rick Sutcliffe picked up their 10th recently. Sutcliffe yesterday. Sutton brushing off Ferguson's first sign. The 1-1 pitch. Ripped to left field in the corner. Fair ball. There's the first Giant hit. Clark going for 2. Baker having trouble with the ball. And Clark will hold on with a double. So Sutton might be sorry now he didn't take Ferguson's sign. Clark smashing one for a 2-baser. That'll bring on Willie McCovey. McCovey fly to center his first time up. Big Willie, 41 years old. Pops it up. Russell going out and calling. That's out number 2. That'll bring up Mike Ivy, who walked in the second inning. It's a much thinner Mike Ivy this year. Last year, Mike weighed 220. When he checked into training camp this spring, he was at 201. On the other hand, Jack Clark, who's running at second, has gained weight this year. Jack lost about 15 pounds last summer, and he felt it sapped his strength, especially in September. Ball 1 to Ivy. Dodgers 6, Giants nothing. Bottom of the 4th, 2 out. Clark at second base with a double. Good off-speed pitch in for a strike. Ivy disagrees with Steve Fields' call. 1-1. Dodgers trying to beat the Giants for the 9th time this year in 11 starts. Ivy checks in time. 2-1. Jack Clark out of Gladstone High School in Azusa. He was a pitcher in high school. That's high. Ball 3. 3-1. On deck, Darrell Evans. There's Darrell. And 1 strike to Mike Ivy, who had a grand slam off Sutton here at Candlestick last year. That's strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ivy, a hot hitter. He's hit almost 400 in his last 38 games. And Sutton found the plate with that one. 3-2 with 2 out. Strike 3 call in the inside corner. So Don Sutton has 4 strikeouts in the last 2 innings. The 1-out double by Clark doesn't hurt him. And at the end of 4, it remains Dodgers 6, Giants nothing. Back at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, we go to the 5th inning tonight. The Dodgers 6 and the Giants nothing. Jaime Jarrín, our friend, broadcasting the Dodger games for our Spanish-speaking friends on KTNQ, the Dodgers' new 50,000-watt affiliate on the Dodger Radio Network. It'll be the lower third of the Dodger order in the 5th inning. Mickey Hatcher, Darrell Thomas, and Don Sutton to face this man, Tom Griffin. The Dodgers have had their biggest scoring explosions of the year in 1 inning against the Giants, strangely enough. They had a 7-run inning against them in April, a 7-run inning in May, and they came back tonight to score 6 runs in the 2nd inning. Mickey Hatcher has walked and doubled. Fouls it off his foot at home plate. Hatcher is a character. Today, as the Dodgers were preparing to board their jet at Los Angeles International Airport, Hatcher looked up and saw the sign on the door, which goes outside, says, "Do not open this door." So, of course, Mickey opened the door and the bell started ringing. They rang and they rang. Attendants came, tried keys, and left. Finally, after about 15 minutes, somebody came with a key, and Hatcher looked at him and he said, "I'm sorry, but say, open the door." Hatcher drives it to left center field and deep. This one might go. Ivy looks up, and Mickey Hatcher's got his first major league home run. And the Dodgers lead 7-0. You think he's happy? Look at that face. Mickey Hatcher belts it out. So, in the same game at Candlestick, Hatcher gets his first and second National League extra base hits. First the double. in the third, and now a home run. And he goes to show the muscles to his teammates. Sandy Koufax, one of the first men to congratulate him. So the young man from Mesa, Arizona, Mickey Hatcher, pumped up after belting one out. Now Darrell Thomas will be up there. There's the home run by Hatcher. And for the Dodgers, their fourth home run of the game. Darrell Thomas has the big one, a grand slam, the first of his major league career. So Mickey Hatcher, take a look at him. He may be around for a while. 0-2 to Thomas. When Thomas homered tonight, it was his first home run batting right-handed since he joined the Dodgers. Thomas grounds one wide of McCovey. Strange got it. The pitcher covers the throw too late. Thomas has his second hit of the night. On that home run by Mickey Hatcher, the Union Oil Company is pleased to present a $20 book of Union Oil auto script to the Masonic Homes of California in Covina. Still nobody out, and here's Don Sutton, the beneficiary of this Dodger power attack tonight. 9 hits, 4 of them home runs, good for 7 runs. Sutton's bounced out and struck out. Don gets the butt down nicely. Tom Griffin's only play is to strain, and the sacrifice works. One out in the 5th inning, and that'll bring up Davy Lopes, who has bounced out, homered, and walked. The Giant pitchers have allowed more home runs than any staff in the National League. 109, counting the 4 tonight hit by the Dodgers. That one's low. The Pirates and Phillies playing a doubleheader tonight in Philadelphia. It was delayed by rain for a while. The first game went 12 innings, and the Phillies won it 4-3 from Pittsburgh. A strike to Lopes, who was ducking out of the way of it. 1-1. The attendance tonight in Philadelphia for the Twin Bill, 63,346. The biggest crowd in baseball this year. Bud Harrelson made him happy in the opener. He drove in the game winner in the 12th inning. Lopes takes ball 2, 2-1. In the second game, they progressed through 3 innings, no score. Bruce Keeson against Randy Lurch. Darrell Thomas leads away from second with 1 out here at Candlestick Park in the 5th. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing, thanks to 4 home runs. Lopes swings and misses, 2-2. The Mets got 6 runs in the first inning of their doubleheader tonight at Shea Stadium against Montreal, and went on to win it 7-1 back at Craig Swan, who won his 11th. Ross Grimsley lost it. Chris Spire homered for the Montreal run. However, in the second game, the Expos are leading 6-3, and they're going to the bottom of the 9th. Inside to Lopes, 3-2. Parrish and Dawson have homered for the Expos in game 2. Three balls and 2 strikes to Lopes with 1 out in the 5th inning. Struck him out. So the breaking ball gets Lopes. For Tom Griffin, it's his 3rd strikeout. 2 away, and here's Bill Russell, who has a double in 3 at-bats. Lee Mazzilli has just hit a 3-run homer for the Mets in the 9th inning in New York, and that ties Montreal 6-6. So the Expos have been having their problems the last few days. They started the night a game and a half back of the Pirates in the East, but the Pirates lost their first game. Russell takes inside. The Cubs were 3.5 back at the start of play tonight, but Chicago lost the first game of 2 in St. Louis 13-8. The Cardinals have now won 6 in a row. Martinez beat Krukow, although Dave Kingman hit his 38th home run for Chicago. Inside to Russell, 2-0. Buckner homered for the Cubs. Mumphrey had an inside the park grand slam homer for St. Louis tonight. Ball 3 to Russell. Drives Bill out of the batter's box. 3-0. Garvey is on deck. Mickey Hatcher opened the inning with his first major league home run. Thomas singled. 2 outs later, he's still at second. Let's see if they allow Russell to swing. 3-0. Dodgers leading 7-0 in the 5th. Billy's taking, and it's a high strike. 3-1. In the second game of the doubleheader tonight in St. Louis, the Cardinals are ahead of the Cubs again, 5-2 at the end of 5. Bernie Carbo's at a 2-run homer tonight for the Cardinals. Bobby Porsche against Bill Caudill. Swing and a miss. 3-2 to Russell. Art Howe drove in the game-winning run in the 9th inning as Houston won in Atlanta 2-1, making Joe Niekro the Major League's first 16-game winner. Joe Sambito saved it for him. Buddy Solomon was a loser for the Braves. 3-2 pitch to Russell. Grounded to short. Thomas tried to distract LeMaster, but not enough. And that'll do it. The Dodgers settle for a run on Hatcher's homer. 2 hits and 1 left. And at the end of 4 1/2, Dodgers 7, Giants nothing.
A most delicious way to start the day. Farmer John bacon cooking up to crackling crisp goodness in the morning. This is bacon like no other. Fine eastern corn-fed pork that's smoked the old-time Western way. And I do mean smoked. Not just once, but 3 times. Yes, 3 times, until there's a smoke-hearty Western flavor in every morsel. Wake up to it often, friends. The bacon that's easternmost in quality and westernmost in flavor, only from Farmer John.
Isn't it a beauty? Sunday, August the 26th, will be Country Music Day at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers will be playing the St. Louis Cardinals at 1 o'clock. And a post-game concert will follow, which features Dave and Sugar. Make your plans to be with us on Sunday, August the 26th. Country Music Day at Dodger Stadium with Dave and Sugar in the spotlight. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Dodgers 7, the Giants nothing. Darrell Evans will lead off against Don Sutton. He'll be followed by Johnny LeMaster and Dennis Littlejohn. Tom Griffin would bat 4th. And in case they get to him, they'll hit for him, and Pedro Bourbon is loosening up in the San Francisco bullpen. Evans fly to left his first time up, and Darrell takes a high strike. They're going to the bottom of the 8th in San Diego. Randy Jones and the Padres are leading the Reds 3-2. Outside for a ball. One and 1 to Evans. Sutton taking plenty of time tonight despite the big lead. And I know what's on Don's mind. He's thinking about that 50th shutout, which eluded him by 5 outs Sunday against these Giants. Evans drills one to right, but Hatcher's got to play. 1 away. In the American League tonight, Kansas City beat Detroit in the first game 7-6, scoring 2 in the bottom of the 9th. In the second game, the Royals are winning again, 7-3 at the end of 7 1/2. Angels leading Seattle 3-0 at the end of 2 at Anaheim, and Carney Lansford a 2-run homer, his 13th of the year to give Don Ossie the lead. Johnny LeMaster flied to center his first time up with the Giants, and he takes one inside for a ball. Oakland beat Minnesota in their 11-inning first game 6-5. Second game tied 2-2 at the end of 6 at Bloomington. Ball 2, 2-0. Baltimore rallied against Tommy John tonight, and the Orioles beat the Yankees 8-6. Tippy Martinez was the winner. Ron Davis, who relieved John, drew the loss. The bat shatters. Pieces of the bat flying off to the left of the plate. The ball wound up almost in the Giant dugout. The count 2-1. And the plate umpire, Steve Fields, picking up some of the loose wood. Boston nosed out Milwaukee tonight 5-4. Freddie Lynn hit his 31st homer in that game, and Gorman Thomas hit his 29th for the Brewers. Toronto and Chicago rained out. Cleveland leading Texas 6-1. They're in the bottom of the ninth at Arlington. So you're up to date. Strike 2 to LeMaster. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing. Giants with only 1 hit off Don Sutton. A 1-out 4th inning double by Jack Clark. That one's popped up into shallow right field. Hatcher coming in and calling. And Mickey makes the catch. So Evans and LeMaster have sent fly balls to Hatcher to begin the bottom of the 5th. Here's Dennis Littlejohn, former USC star out of North Torrance. Tomorrow, Charlie Huff and Ed Whitson in game 2 of this series. We'll be on the air at 12:45. Ball 1. The Dodgers opening a 12-game road trip tonight, and this man, Manny Mota, hopes to become the all-time career pinch hit leader during this trip. Line smash off of Russell's glove in the left field. Baker over to get it, and Littlejohn has the Giants' second hit. Now Tom Griffin is being called back, and we'll have a hitter for the Giants' 3rd pitcher of the night. Greg Johnston came up as a pinch hitter in the 3rd inning and struck out. Johnston, the young man out of the Covina area, was fanned by Sutton Sunday in Los Angeles, and that was the strikeout that set the Dodger all-time record for career strikeouts. North Torrance High School's Dennis Littlejohn just got a base hit, so here is Torrance's Rob Andrews to see if he can follow suit. Rob, a pesky hitter against the Dodgers this year. Andrews is 5 for 8. Rob went to South Torrance High, so we don't want to make the folks down there angry. He did not go to Torrance. Rob's older brother, Mike, you might recall, played with the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the A's in the American League, and got in some World Series time. Rob has been with the Giants since the spring of 1977. They got him from Houston in a deal which involved ex-Dodger Willie Crawford. Crawford went from the Giants to the Astros. And his first year with the Giants, Rob wore out the Dodgers. He had 19 hits against them that year and batted over .320. Garvey playing behind Littlejohn, 2 out in the 5th inning. And Andrews, who's hitting .267 up there. That's lifted foul, out of play. Pedro Borbon has completed his warm-up tosses, and he will come on in the 6th inning. San Francisco's 4th pitcher of the game. Dodgers got 6 runs in the 2nd. A big blow, a grand slam by Darryl Thomas, the first of his major league career. Sayan Lopes also homered in the inning. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Rob Andrews. And then Mickey Hatcher clouded his first major league home run to lead off the 5th. 1-1 pitch. Off speed and bounced slowly to third. Say short-hops it nicely. Fires to Garvey in time. Good play by Say. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We've played 5 at Candlestick. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing. As we move to the 6th inning in San Francisco tonight, the rubber-armed right-hander from the Dominican Republic, Pedro Borbon, comes on. And as you just saw, Dennis Littlejohn's return throw to him. Well, it's not Dennis. It's Terry Whitfield is warming him up. The ball sailed right past Pedro Borbon's ear. For Borbon, this is his 46th game of the year, his 16th with the Giants. He started the season, of course, with Cincinnati. Borbon came to the Giants in the deal which sent Hector Cruz to Cincinnati. And now that turns out to be an important transaction for the Reds. Ken Griffey will undergo surgery soon and be lost to the Reds for the remainder of the year. And they are expecting Haiti Cruz to play a great deal of right field as the Reds try to come from behind and win the National League West. If the Reds do not rally in the 9th inning in San Diego tonight, and they are down 3-2 at the end of 7½, they will once again be 4.5 back of Houston. The Astros shaded the Braves in Atlanta earlier tonight 2-1 as Joe Niekro won his 16th. Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, and Dusty Baker will oppose Pedro Borbon as we go to the 6th inning. Borbon, since he joined the Giants, has won 3 and lost 2. He was 2-2 with the Reds. Garvey tonight has struck out twice and singled. Strike one. Garvey now with an 11-game hitting string. Garvey has a 12-game hitting scan this year. He had 21 games in a row last year, which has been his career best. 0-2. Joe Ferguson, Jerry Royce, and Bert Hooton taking in the game. Jerry in the middle will face Vida Blue here Sunday afternoon. Grounded through the legs of Borbon to center field, and Garvey has got another base hit. What a hitter. 153 hits now for Garvey. And he has an excellent chance to have his 5th 200-hit season with the Dodgers. That's 10 hits for the Dodgers. And Garvey got a piece of Borbon's leg on that one. Ball one to Cey. Ron homered to lead off the 2nd inning. And before the inning was over, 11 Dodgers had come to the plate, and 6 of them had scored. Ball 2. Cey's also been on an error and struck out. Ronnie has always hit his best against the Giants, percentage-wise. Just over 300 in his career. Pops it up. McCovey. First out. Dusty Baker has singled, been aboard on a fielder's choice, and walked. Baker's had a good year against the Giants, coming off of a anemic season at the plate against San Francisco pitching. Last year, Bake hit 148 against the Giants, and he had only 9 hits all year. This year, with his hit tonight, Baker has double that total. In the hit column, he has 18 hits in 39 at-bats. A strike. 1-1. Baker with 2 home runs against the Giants this year and 11 runs batted in the first 10 games. That's low. 2-1. A hot dog wrapper blowing in front of the plate, and Steve Fields, the plate umpire, will go out and get it. 1 on, 1 out. We're in the 6th. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing. The Dodgers opening a 12-game road trip tonight. From here, they go to St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Chicago. Baker swings and misses. 2-2. The Dodgers will return home 2 weeks from tonight to take on the St. Louis Cardinals at Dodger Stadium. And then the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs will follow the Redbirds to the Ravine. The pitch is high to Baker. 3-2. Now we'll watch Garvey to see if they let him go on a 3-2 pitch to Baker. Baker strikes out about 15% of the time. Garvey goes, and Baker lifts a fly ball to center. Bill North waiting for it to come to him and makes the catch. Garvey goes back. 2 out in the 6th inning. That'll bring up Joe Ferguson, who is 0 for 3 tonight. In the last couple of years, the Dodgers have played very well up here at San Francisco. They won 20 of their last 26 at Candlestick Park. Ferguson takes low, ball 1. High, ball 2, 2-0. In fact, the Dodgers have won 32 of the last 45 games they played against the Giants, here and in Los Angeles. Ground ball to third. Evans will go the short route for the force out on Garvey. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left at the end of 5.5 innings. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing.
The Dodgers will begin a 10-game homestand on Friday night, August the 24th. That's Dodger Family Night, a chance to see the wives and children of the Dodgers. August the 25th with the Cardinals. That will be the traditional Hollywood Stars night. Then after the Cardinals, 3 weekday night games with the Pirates, followed by a 4-game series with the Chicago Cubs. And on Friday night, August 31st, that's the Dodger photo album night. Great 10-game homestand at Dodger Stadium. See you starting on the 24th.
In the bottom half of the 6th inning, the Giants will send Bill North, Joe Strain, and Jack Clark to the plate to face Don Sutton, who has limited San Francisco to only 2 hits. A 4th inning double by Jack Clark and a 5th inning single by Dennis Littlejohn. North lines 1 to right. Mickey Hatcher's there for the first out. So Hatcher has been busy. That's his 4th put out of the game. North 0 for 3 tonight. That'll bring up Joe Strain. Strain has flied to left and then been called out on strikes. Sutton has pitched some of his finest games against the Giants. He struck out 12 here at Candlestick in April, which has been the best mark of the year for a Dodger pitcher. Strikeouts in a game. There's a strike to Strain. Don's had 2 one-hitters against the Giants. That one's hit to Hatcher, and Mickey's going to have to play it on a hop. Joe Strain comes up with the Giants' 3rd hit, and that'll bring up Jack Clark, who got San Francisco's 1st base hit, a 1-out double in the 4th. A couple of years ago, we recall the day at Dodger Stadium when Sutton took a no-hitter into the 8th inning against the Giants, and Mark Hill broke it up. Jimmy Davenport also ruined a no-hitter in the 8th inning against Sutton when he played for the Giants. Strike to Clark, snap throw to first, and Strain back. The Dodgers are leading 7-0. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch to Clark. Popped up. Ferguson and Garvey. Look out. It's Garvey. Sutton's right there to bark out the traffic call. And now he's explaining to Ferguson that he felt Garvey had a better angle. Joe said, that's fine. Just make sure one of us catches it. So 2 away, and here's Willie McCovey. McCovey has flied to center and popped up. Big Willie with 45 career home runs against the Dodgers. out of that 519 total of his. Inside. High and away, ball 2. 2-0. McCovey has 18 grand slams, the National League all-time leader. And he hit one of them off Sutton in 1972, right here at San Francisco. That was at the Garvey's right. Sutton to cover. Lopes is thrown. He got it. Good play. Two things made the play. Neither Lopes nor Sutton quit on the ball. Don broke at the crack of the bat. Davey went to get it 2. Went off of Garvey. But Lopes hustling all the way. Fed it to Sutton. And they got McCovey. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Then we'll be back in a moment. At the end of 6. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing.
This Bud's for every man who works with fire and steel.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Oh, they might not let that. Why, once again, everybody, as we move into the 7th inning, Vin Scully welcoming you back to Candlestick Park at a most interesting ball game, considering a grand slammer, first in his career for Darrell Thomas. Home run by Davy Lopes, the most by any second baseman in Dodger history. Home run by Ron Cey, his 21st. Mickey Hatcher's first Major League home run. And hanging in the air, can Don Sutton get his 50th shutout? Here's Hatcher. He has walked, doubled, and homered. Ball 1. Mickey, 5 hits and 12 at-bats now in the big leagues. Two balls, no strikes. Foul back. Pedro Bobon, the 4th Giant pitcher. It's been Nepper, Halicki, Griffin, and Bobon. And that's hit into the hole into right field. So Hatcher is hitting him every which way. And that was the book on him. They almost got him rounding. Jack Clark, I'll tell you what, if this kid stays around, he'll rewrite all of Babe Herman jokes. So there's a lot of 4s down there at first. Very close. So Mickey Hatcher has a walk, a single, a double, and a home run. And here's Darrell Thomas with a grand slam, a walk, and a single. Foul back. You know, when the Dodgers left Los Angeles Airport today, they were waiting to get on their airplane, and the door to the plane was locked, and they had an alarm on it. And who do you think opened the door and set the alarm up, which they could not turn off for quite some time? You guessed it, Mickey Hatcher. He was so embarrassed because it was a loud alarm, like a burglar security alarm. And I bet you 3 different people came and didn't have the key to lock it. And it was a good 5 to 10 minutes of that loud, piercing alarm and everybody hollering at Hatcher. He came out breathing fire tonight. Foul back. 0-2. Darrell Thomas. He has sure made a lot of contributions to the Dodgers. Darrell hitting .260. He has stolen 14 out of 17. He has given the Dodgers the best center fielding since the days of Willie Davis. 1-2. I mean, he's been flying all over the place. And then, of course, tonight to come up with his first grand slam of his career. Hit to short. LeMaster to Strain, and Hatcher really took Strain out, but Little Joe got his double play. So two rookies bearing down, and Joe Strain, despite the fact that Mickey Hatcher upended him. Watch this. There's LeMaster. Wait till you see Little Strain. Boom. And Strain went down on his back, but he got his man. Double play. So a good effort by Hatcher, a good play by Strain, and 2 down. Here's Don. Sutton is hit back to the box, struck out, and sacrificed. High chopper. That's going to be trouble. Picked up by Evans, and his throw is just in time. Good play. So Darrell Evans takes a hit away from Sutton, and the Dodgers are gone at the end of 6½. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing.
Friday night, August the 24th at Dodger Stadium. It's family night. Oh, later on, the Dodgers will play the St. Louis Cardinals. But here are some of the stars. You are Rafael Mota.
Yes.
And you are Domingo Mota.
Yes.
And are you Rafael Mota, too?
Yes.
There are 2 Rafael Motas. And you are Gene Hooton, right?
Yes, sir.
Who is your favorite ball player?
Uncle Tom and Steve Garvey.
Uncle Tommy and Steve Garvey. We'll see you on the 24th.
We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Dodgers leading 7-0. Phil Nastu, the left-hander throwing in the Giant bullpen. There he is. And the big question now is, can Sutton do it? Don got into the 8th inning at Dodger Stadium, trying for his 50th shutout, and Mike Ivy homered. Now he's into the 7th inning, still looking for that 50th, and the first man he looks at is Ivy. Line drive over a leaping Say in the left field for a base hit. That is hit number 4, and the batter is Darrell Evans. Darrell Evans flied to left and lined out to right. The Giants have only hit 4 balls on the ground tonight. All of the other outs recorded in the air, plus 4 strikeouts. Ball 1. Dodgers 7 runs, 11 hits, and the Giants no runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. Ball 2. Sutton, to show you where he is in his growth in baseball, needs 15 more strikeouts to pass Christy Mathewson. Now he's trying to hit the border of home plate, being a little too careful, and he's 3-0 to Darrell Evans. 3-1. On deck, Johnny LeMaster. Don Sutton trying for his 215th Major League victory. A drive to right center, but Darrell Thomas got his usual good jump, and he was right there. 1 away. The outfielders sure have been busy. And now here's LeMaster. He's flied to center and flied to right. Had 9 outfield putouts so far. Ball 1. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing. Bottom of the 7th inning.
Breaking ball over. Good one. 1-1. The Giants have already used 2 pinch hitters, Greg Johnston and Rob Andrews. And if they get down to the hitter, they'll use another. Throw to first. Boy, it was close. Ivy got back. That throw was right at his right armpit. If you have to slide here in a home white uniform, you might as well have it sent out and be cleaned and burned. Whatever has happened to the ground here sure ages a uniform in a hurry. It was supposed to be red brick dust color, and it kept turning, browning in the sun. So LeMaster strikes out. 2 down. And for Don Sutton, his 5th strikeout. The Wolves have been on LeMaster. And now here comes Dennis Littlejohn. Littlejohn flied to right and single to left. He's 1 for 2. Bourbon comes out on deck. Nastu continues to throw in the bullpen. 7-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 7th. Ball 1. There's Bourbon. Two and 0. Phil Nastu tuning up in the Giant bullpen. That's in there. 2-1. The Dodgers with 6 runs in the 2nd inning and another in the 5th. Home runs by Davey Lopes, Ron Say, a grand slam by Darrell Thomas, and the first home run of his career by Mickey Hatcher. Ball 3. The big out was getting Darrell Evans. He was behind 3-0 to Darrell after the base hit by Ivy. And there's the drive, hooking in the left field corner, foul. So Dennis Littlejohn hitting it foul in the seats, 3-2. The Giants are the number 2 team in the league in run production. The Dodgers are number 1. The Dodgers started the night 4 runs ahead of the Giants, and of course now they lead them by 11. There goes Ivy, and the pitch is in the dirt, rolls behind the plate. So Ivy's going to keep on going to third. Holding at first is Littlejohn. So on ball 4, you also get a wild pitch to account for Ivy's presence at third. And with 2 out, Terry Whitfield coming up. So Terry Whitfield, a solid hitter, will be batting for Bourbon. Whitfield hitting .290. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting .333. 5 for 15 with 2 runs batted in. So Terry Whitfield trying to pick up Mike Ivy. Strike, 0-1. Giants have runners at first and third. With a runner at third, it's the first time tonight the Giants have come 90 feet away. Line to left, Baker is there. And so the Giants are turned away in the 7th inning, despite another ball hit to the outfield. That line drive is at Dusty Baker. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left. And at the end of 7, Dodgers 7, Giants nothing.
This Bud's for everyone who helps take us out to the ball game.
This Bud's for you. for being on the job and working hard all day.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
San Francisco loves Nasty, and that's Phil Nastu, N-A-S-T-U, nicknamed Nasty. The left-hander coming in with a record of 3-4. Nastu started 14 games and completed 1. This will be his 9th assignment in relief. Earned run average a little over 4. But the story is still hanging. Don Sutton in pursuit of his 50th shutout. What a big one that would be for him, and especially since he came so close and was so frustrated at Dodger Stadium. When the Giants bat in the bottom of the 8th, Bill North, Joe Strain, and Jack Clark. But meanwhile, in the top, it'll be Davy Lopes, Bill Russell, and Steve Garvey. Davy Lopes grounded out, homered, walked, and struck out. Davy 1 for 3. Strike. Pretty good fastball. 0-1. A little bit high, 1-1. Phil Nastu was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut. He was 24 in March, 6'2", 180-pounder. He still lives in Bridgeport. That's a strike. Paid attendance, 31,530. 31,530 with over 32 in the house. In the dirt. Phil Nastu has been pitching professionally only since 1977, and he came up briefly last year, so he has really moved in a hurry. He graduated from the University of Bridgeport in '77. Quite a basketball player as well. He's big enough at 6'2". 3-2 the count to Davy Lopes. Ball 4. So Davy gets aboard. The second walk that he's received. And the batter will be Bill Russell. The Dodgers were retired in order tonight only once, and that was in the first inning by Bob Neppert. But in the second inning, they jumped all over Neppert. So it means in the last 4 innings against left-handed Bob Neppert, the Dodgers have touched him up for 11 earned runs. Ball 1 to Bill Russell. The Dodgers trying to make it 8 straight winning decisions against left-handers. 1-0. A busted bat and a fly ball into shallow right, and it lands in front of Clark. I don't know whether Jack misjudged that or didn't see it or what. Maybe the broken bat bothered him. He might have reacted the wrong way at first. You see Lopes gesture to Russell as if to say, I didn't know. And it landed. It appeared quickly as if it landed a foot or so in front of Jack Clark. But anyway, it'll be a base hit, and the Dodgers have 2 on. Watch this now. Watch to see if we can see where the ball landed. Right? Yeah, it bounced up and would have hit him in the kneecap. It was that close. It's been that kind of a night for the Giants so far. And here's Garvey now with 2 on and nobody out. Steve is 2 for 4, struck out twice and singled twice. 7-0 Dodgers, 8th inning. Ball 1. Davy Lopes at second. Bill Russell at first. Nobody out in the 8th. The Dodgers 7 runs on a dozen hits. There's one thing about Garvey tonight that's been a little different. He has 2 hits. He has struck out twice, and most of the time he has swung and missed the ball. Usually he gets a piece of it. He's not a strikeout man at all. Because he has reached that stature where you're talking about him not having a particularly good night, and he's 2 for 4. And this time he hits it over the head of Strain for his 3rd hit. Lopes will score, and the Dodgers breezing 8-0. And for Garvey, leading the league in hits, he has 154 hits. So the Dodgers get a little nasty with Nastu. Lead 8-0. And with nobody out, Ron Say the batter. Ron Say homered, aboard on an error, struck out and popped up. In the bullpen, Greg Minton begins to warm up. He would be the 6th Giant pitcher used in the game. There's Greg. Ball 1. Of course, the Giants are coming off being shut out. John D'Acquisto and the San Diego Padres shut him out yesterday, 4-0. The Dodgers have him by the neck through 7 innings tonight, 8-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Pop foul down the right field line and peeling back into the stands out of play. Again, the paid attendance, 31,530, with over 32,000 in the crowd. 8-0 Dodgers with 6 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, and 1 here in the 8th. Ron Say with 21 home runs and a chance to pick up some more runs batted in. Fastball hammered to left, but right there, staying with it in left field, is Mike Ivy. That thing was drilled, and the runner's hold. So the out is a long line drive, and the batter is Dusty Baker. Baker singled, hit into a force play, walked, and flied to center. Dusty 1 for 3. In the Dodger lineup, only Joe Ferguson and Don Sutton are without a hit. And Fergie lost a possible hit back in the 2nd inning. Strike. 0-1. Well, really, it would not appear as if the game is in doubt anymore. Of course, you never can tell. But the big story is, can Sutton make it? He needs 6 more outs. Little pop fly, back of first, down the line, and it's going to drop foul. Clark, McCovey, and Strain going down there. 0-2 to Dusty Baker. When the Giants hit in the bottom of the 8th inning, a formidable trio, Bill North, Joe Strain, and Jack Clark. If anybody gets on, Willie McCovey.
Don Sutton with 49 shutouts, tied with Don Drysdale. One back of San Diego's Gaylord Perry and Cincinnati's Tom Seaver among active National League pitchers for shutouts. Little fly ball to center. Bill North with the speed to get there. And the runners have to hold. So 2 on, 2 out. And the one man who hadn't been able to dip into the cookie jar, here's Joe Ferguson. Board on an error, struck out, flied to right, hit into a force play. Bill Russell at second, Steve Garvey at first. 2 out, top of the 8th. Dodgers 8, Giants nothing. Ball 1. Don't forget, Dodgers will be home Friday night, August 24th, with the Cardinals. And remember, we have some feature attractions. The 24th, family night, chance to meet the wives and see the children, plus special pregame ceremonies honoring Lou Brock on Friday the 24th. On Saturday night, the 25th, Hollywood Stars Night. Sunday afternoon, Country Music Day. Then Pittsburgh comes in, followed by the Cubs. And on Friday night, August 31st, with the Cubs, Dodger Photo Album Night. A beautiful photo album given free to everybody in attendance. Ball 2, 2-1. The Dodgers won 5 of their last 7. They've won 20 out of 26 going into this game at Candlestick. 2-1 to Joe Ferguson with 2 on and 2 out. Ball 3. Well, in this spot, and especially with the score, you know that Ferguson is allowed to swing if he likes it, likes the pitch and location. 3-1 to Joe. Fergie with 15 home runs, 54 runs batted in. So he'll go all the way. On deck, Mickey Hatcher. Boy, what a night he's had. Hatcher has a walk, a single, a double, and his first Major League home run. Runners will be going now with a full count and 2 down. Russell and Garvey. There they go. Fastball is hit into center, so welcome to the club, Joe. He gets a base hit to score Russell. Garvey stops at third. It is 9-0 Dodgers. So Joe Ferguson joins in the fun with a base hit and a run batted in. That's 3 hits and 2 runs off Phil Nastu. And here's Mickey Hatcher bidding for a perfect night. Interesting, after the walk, he doubled inside third. He homered to deep left center, and he singled to right. Ball 1. Nastu only almost tumbled off the mound that time. 1-0. Giants must really be high on Nastu with the little bit of minor league experience he has. You can imagine he started to pitch professionally the middle of '77, and he made the ball club this year, a club that a lot of people around these parts thought had a shot at winning the pennant. Well, Phil Nastu, N-A-S-T-U, he must have a lot of ability. Now 3-0, and Lasorda will no doubt allow Hatcher to swing 3-0. And it's up to Mickey. And he's taken a strike. 3-1. Looks at Gomez, and again we would think that he'd be allowed to hit. First and third, 2 out, 8th inning, 9-0 Dodgers. Ball 4. So it's a perfect night for Hatcher. 2 walks, a single, a double, and his first major league home run. And here's another fellow who's gotten a lot of walks, Joe Altobelli. The Giant manager heading for the hill again. Greg Minton down there in the bullpen. The Dodgers, in a 9-0 game, are going to make some changes. Davy Lopes, with his windbreaker on, is going to call it a night. Dusty Baker puts on a windbreaker, and it looks like Dusty is going to go with Lopes. They were going to go right now, but I think they've decided, let's wait till the last out before leaving. They go back in the dugout and sit down. Teddy Martinez has already gone down to the bullpen to warm up. And I guess we wouldn't be too surprised if Manny Mota, in a one-sided game, had a shot at breaking the record. Here's Darryl Thomas. Darryl's had a big night. First grand slam home run of his career. He also walked and singled. Last time up, he hit into a double play. Been a stormy inning for Nastu. 3 hits, 2 walks, and 2 runs. 2-0. You'd have to call Lloyd's of London to figure out the odds of Darryl Thomas hitting another grand slam. Garvey at third. Ferguson at second. Hatcher at first. Ball 3. So young Phil Nastu struggling. Boy, it figures he'd struggle. Not just tonight. 3-0. Down the pipe. 9-0 Dodgers. 9 runs, 14 hits. The Giants, no runs, 4 hits. And the big story yet to be answered, can Don Sutton come up with his 50th shutout? That's a strike. So the full count and 2 down. Darryl Thomas trying to pick up somebody with Garvey, Ferguson, and Hatcher all ready to go. And he hits a fly ball into shallow center. Strain out, north in, and it's north. So the Dodgers settle for 2 runs, 3 hits, and leave 3. At the end of 7.5, the Dodgers 9, and the Giants nothing. Your eyes, Frank. The Dodgers have made the anticipated changes. Dusty Baker comes out, and Gary Thomason takes over in left field. At second base, Teddy Martinez takes over for Davy Lopes. 9-0 in favor of the Dodgers. And Don Sutton, who came heartbreakingly close to winning his 50th at Dodger Stadium, his 50th shutout, and then gave up the home run to Mike Ivy in the 8th inning, went on to win handily anyway. Now here he is again, so close. He is 6 outs away from it. Standing in his way, North, Strain, and Clark here in the 8th inning. McCovey, Ivy, and Evans. That's the total, $31,530 paid. Tomorrow, warm-up at 12:45, Charlie Huff and Ed Whitson. A drive into right. Hatcher has it hit over his head, and Mickey's going to have to chase it to the wall. Into second base is North with a double. So Bill North drives one deep into right center field for a double. Last inning, thanks to a wild pitch on ball 4, the Giants got him into third.
No chance for Hatcher to catch up to it. So a runner at second and nobody out. Strain, Clark, and McCovey. And Don Sutton trying so hard to get the 50th. Strain is 1 for 3. North to third. And the throw, he's stolen it. For Bill North, that is his 49th stolen base, which is a San Francisco record. 49 steals for the center fielder. Bobby Bonds had the record at 48, and Bill North makes it 49 by stealing third. And now, the Giants are 90 feet away from breaking Sutton's heart. 9-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Nobody out. Joe Strain flied to left, struck out and singled. The infield is back. And he popped it up, and Say in foul ground. 1 away. So North at third with 1 out. And Jack Clark the batter. Jack Clark grounded to short, doubled into the left field corner, and fouled out to Garvey in the 6th inning. 1 for 3. Strike. Don Sutton has struck out 5. Walked 2. Allowed 5 hits. 2 of the 5 hits doubled. 1-1. On deck, Willie McCovey. Big chopper to Say. He's holding North and going after him now and tags him out. Big play. So Bill North is snuffed out coming down the line from third. And now Sutton has a much better shot. Clark aboard on the fielder's choice and North tagged out by Say. Willie McCovey the batter. Slide to right, pop to short. Grounded out off Garvey's glove to Lopes, who threw to Sutton. McCovey 0 for 3. 2 out in the 8th, 9-0 Dodgers. Clark goes. The pitch high, the throw, got him. And now Sutton is 3 outs away from it. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. And at the end of 8, the Dodgers 9 and the Giants nothing.
This Bud's for everyone who's into hot tracks and red-hot cars.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. The Budweiser Spider and the clean, crisp taste of the king of beers.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Ninth inning with the Dodgers leading the Giants 9-0. And so Sutton coming up to hit 3 outs away from his 50th shutout. And of course, he has gotten just about every goal that he has wanted. He has climbed just about every mountain. That's the one I'm sure he will cherish if he can get it. Tied with Drysdale with 49. Gaylord Perry and Tom Seaver active with 50. And in the history books, Mordecai Brown, George Waddell, and Vic Willis. But he's got 3 outs left. To look ahead, because that really is the drama of the game now, the bottom of the 9th. Willie McCovey, Mike Ivy, and Darrell Evans.
Top of the ninth inning, 9-0 Dodgers. Down goes Sutton, who couldn't care less, get back in the dugout and rest. And Gary Thomason, who is in the leadoff spot, will be coming up. Davy Lopes, who played 8 innings, walked twice and homered. And Gary Thomason coming up with Bill Russell on deck. Gary, who at one time in his career played up here, hitting .236. Ball 1. The Giants using Bob Nepper, Ed Holicki, Tom Griffin, Pedro Bourbon, and Phil Nastu. Tomorrow, Charlie Huff and Ed Whitson. Warm-up 12:45. Sunday, Jerry Royce and Vida Blue. Gary did a lot of hitting early. He hasn't done too much lately. Ball 3. Thomason with 7 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Fastball in there. 3-1. Tomorrow and Sunday, right here on Channel 11, the Giants and the Dodgers. Popped up, LeMaster calling. So 2 down, top of the 9th inning, with the Dodgers leading the Giants 9-0. And Bill Russell, the batter. Russell has a single and a double in 5 trips, having been rested yesterday. Russell has only missed 3 games this year. He's played in 112. Garvey has played in all 115. Lopes has played in 112. Fouled away. 0-2. Pop foul off first, slicing away from McCovey, and should go in the stands and does. $31,530 paid, over $32,000 in the house, and it has been all Dodgers. Dodgers scored 6 times in the 2nd inning. Home runs by Ron Say, Davy Lopes, and a grand slammer, the first of his career, by Darrell Thomas. The Dodgers later had a home run by Mickey Hatcher, his first big league home run. And they piled up 14 hits and a 9-0 lead. 1-2. Steve Garvey on deck. Slow and high. Looked like Nastu tried to turn it over, and a little angry at himself. That got away. Garvey 3 for 5 on deck. Perfect night for Mickey Hatcher. Mickey Hatcher, the Dodger right fielder tonight, walked twice, had a single, a double, and a home run. Three and 2. Fouled off. To repeat, when the Giants come up in the 9th, a formidable challenge. Willie McCovey, Mike Ivy, and Darrell Evans. Maybe not to challenge the Dodgers' 9-0 lead, but to challenge Sutton's attempt at the shutout. Fouled away again. And, of course, don't forget the post-game show. We'll have a chance to check all the scores with the accent on all. A lot of scores tonight. Fouled off.
the biggest crowd of the year, setting an attendance record in Philadelphia's Veterans Stadium. Over 63,000 in Philadelphia tonight to see the Pirates and the Phillies in a doubleheader. Punched on the right side, Joe Strain gets him. So now we come to what should be the final chapter of Don Sutton's attempt. The end of 8.5 innings, the Dodgers 9 and the Giants nothing.
A Datsun 280ZX, and it's all mine.
Ours. Am I glad we priced a Z before we settled for something else?
Price a Datsun 280ZX. Don't let that styling, that luxury, that performance mislead you. You could get an EPA estimated city range of 350 miles and highway range of over 550 on one tank of gas. Price a Datsun 280ZX.
It costs less than you think.
And gives us more.
Bottom of the 9th inning, the Dodgers 9 runs, 14 hits, and no errors. The Giants no runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Don Sutton with one more mountain to climb, and standing in his way, Willie McCovey, Mike Ivy, and Darrell Evans. They have one hit amongst them. McCovey flied to right, popped to short, and grounded out. He was left at the plate in the 8th inning when Jack Clark was thrown out trying to steal. And Don Sutton ready to work what should be a dramatic 9th inning despite 9-0 score. Strike one. Belted down in the corner, foul. 0-2. Three outs away from his 50th shutout. One and two. Along the way, McCovey 0 for 3. Don Sutton has struck out 5, walked 2, and a wild pitch. Fouled away. McCovey out in front of it. You would never know it is a 9-0 game in watching Sutton, because he knows how important it is. He's labored a long time to get here, trying to pass Drysdale in the Dodger record book. One and two. It is hard enough to win in the big leagues. Here's a man who's going to win his 215th. But 50 shutouts, that's something. But he hasn't got that yet. 2 and 2. Two and 2 to McCovey. On the corner, strike 3 called, and McCovey thought sure it was ball 4. McCovey shocked at the call. Down he goes. That's 6 strikeouts for Don Sutton. And now here's the man who broke the bubble at Dodger Stadium, Mike Ivy. He did it in the 8th inning down there. Tonight he has walked, struck out, and singled. After Ivy comes Evans. Little pop foul. Garvey coming over. And now suddenly Sutton needs one more out. And standing in the way is Darrell Evans. Evans has flied to left, lined out to right, and lined out to center. It's pretty hard to call a 9-0 game dramatic, but there's a lot of drama here now. Ball one. One and one. What a moment for Don Sutton. And for Patty and the kids. Ball two. 2-1. Darrell Evans. He has hurt the Dodgers many times along the way. Up there now to count 2 balls and 1 strike. Missed the corner. Ball 3. On deck, Johnny LeMaster. Evans, of course, a power hitter. LeMaster is not. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. He might have pitched around Evans. In other words, he had to go head-to-head with McCovey and Ivy, but he didn't have to go head-to-head with Evans. So with 2 out, he pitches around Evans, and now LeMaster. LeMaster has just 1 home run, so it would appear logical. There's a strike. LeMaster flied to center, flied to right, and struck out. 0 for 3. And now suddenly Sutton is 1 strike away. One last lunge to get to the top of baseball's Mount Everest. 50 shutout. Fouled off. Don, the winningest pitcher in Dodger history, has the most strikeouts of any Dodger pitcher. He has pitched more innings than any other Dodger pitcher. Fouled out of play. Joe Ferguson handling tonight, doing a solid job behind the plate. Darrell Evans standing at first. 2 out, 9th inning, 9-0 Dodgers. Fouled away. So what for most people and under most circumstances would be just an exercise, a tremendous moment for Don Sutton. Dodgers 9, Giants nothing, 2 out in the 9th. Foul back again. So LeMaster's making him work for it. On deck, Dennis Littlejohn. Got it. There it is. 50th shutout, and look at that. He did it. He passed Don Drysdale. He stands alone now. Most innings pitched, most strikeouts, 50 shutouts, most by a Dodger. 215 victories, most for a Dodger. Magnificent moment in the pitching life of Don Sutton. And a bear hug from his coach, Red Adams, who means so much to him. Bob Welch, Darrell Thomas, who hit the grand slam, Von Joshua, all of his teammates congratulating him on a marvelous performance. And Don, of course, will be the guest on the postgame show as he pats Mickey Hatcher on the back. For the Dodgers, 9 runs, 14 hits, and no errors. For the Giants, no runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. And Sutton got what he wanted, what had eluded him in Los Angeles on the 8th inning home run by Mike Ivey. He got it tonight. The 50th shutout of his career. The